Hey guys, this is Liz Barnett-Simmons, fitness and food coach, and today we're going to see if our hips really don't lie. By that, I mean we're going to test our deep squat, do some dynamic mobility work, and then retest, okay? So set your feet shoulder distance apart and squat down. Can you do it? I guess I can. Let's turn to the side so you can see areas where people tend to compensate, all right? So you're going to try to squat straight down, and most often I'll see people sort of collapsing forward into the toes, their heels lift, their pelvis tucks under, right? Or their chest sort of collapse forward. These are all things you can work on. They might have to do with tightness or weakness. I've had some practice. All right, so here's a little flow. Start with a deep squat, and if you need to, you can bring the floor up to you using a bench or blocks. Step back into a yoga sort of lizard. Keep your back thigh lifted, keep your spine long. You can also choose to consciously drop the back knee down and unflex that back foot. You'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in that back leg, hip flexor. You can pass through a down dog before you switch sides. Right? And the back thigh, think about lifting it up when you're in that higher position, squeezing that back leg glute, or consciously again dropping it down, still squeezing that glute. A few breaths here. Now, the greatest stretch ever is next. It's like an easy twist in yoga. So you step yourself into that lizard position. Really make sure that bottom shoulder is packed and you're twisting from your upper back, your thoracic spine. So you're targeting your outer hip and your chest here. And then let's switch sides. And sometimes, if you've ever taken a class with me, this is a favorite, right? An alternating easy twist to a downward dog. Make sure that back glute is squeezing, right? You need to kind of find support so you can twist away from it. So we also want to focus on the ankle, right? So I'm here in a low lunge position. You might want to slide the foot back a little bit so that you can lean forward. Notice my knee is actually past my heel, which is totally safe as long as there's no pain and as long as that foot is flat. So we're just kind of passively stretching that front leg, ankle, and Achilles there, and then moving on to the hamstring. So you can straighten the back of the leg. Don't worry if it's not completely straight. Worry about keeping your spine long and your chest up. Use blocks if you need to. Passing through a down dog, switching sides. Again, you might want to step that front foot a little bit back so you have someplace forward to go, right? Squeeze your back leg glute. That's going to help release that hip flexor too. So we're releasing the back leg, hip flexor, and the front ankle, and then moving into that runner's lunge, that more hamstring focused stretch. Again, don't worry about how far forward you're stretching. Worry about keeping your spine nice and long, all right? And then you can pass through a down dog again. Or just spin yourself sideways, and we're going to go to some side-to-side lunges here. So making sure we open up the inner and outer hips, especially those inner thighs might feel tight. That's one option. Or if you're familiar with a yoga sort of deeper lunge, a skandasana, right, like almost like a Cossack squat, you can turn your toes out a little bit and really sit deep into those hips. Make sure that foot is flat, chest is up, right? You can use that elbow against your thigh. Notice my opposite leg is straight here and my foot is lifted for that option. Remember, option 1 is that side lunge. Option 2 is that deeper sort of skandasana, if you know it from yoga, or Cossack squat, or single leg squat, whatever you want to call it. It's a really deep squat. It's a really deep stretch, right? Breathe through any tension, right? You want to make sure you're not creating additional stress as you're doing this. You're trying to tell your body it's okay to kind of loosen up, yeah? And then slowly make your way back to the squat stance and deep squat, malasana. How does that feel, right? Notice this yoga posture is very similar to the one what we did when we were testing ourselves. So